Hi, everybody. This is Jordan with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. Thank you for joining me. This episode is just me by my lonesome. So I'm going to be talking about my career, living with Crohn's disease, especially since my surgery in 2009, and how that impacted some things, and also just just how grateful I am for to be able to actually be able to go to work every day for the last 10, 11 years. And, despite my, symptoms and stuff. So I'm just really excited to share with you guys, just, a little more of my background and, kind of what I do every day a little bit. And so with that, first of all, for those people that don't know, I was in the Air Force for a little over 8 years. I did 5 years in the active duty, 1 year in the California National Guard, and then 2.5 years in Nebraska National Guard. And my dream, was not necessarily to stay in the Air Force, in active duty forever, but I did love the military a lot, and so I planned to stay in the Air National Guard, until I retired and stuff, do a whole 20 years at least. But in 2009, I got sick again because of Crohn's, and I went to the emergency room. I've told this story before that I went to the emergency room several times that year. I had 18 inches of my colon taken out. I had my ileum removed, and so and I remember I was in the hospital, and so my captain who was an African American guy, a really cool guy. And we actually, everybody I worked with was actually really cool, not just him. The whole, I guess, it would be squadron. It was a great experience overall in Lincoln, Nebraska. But anyway, he was a leader, and so he came to visit me in the hospital, and and I remember telling him that hey, of course, thanks for coming and stuff, but how excited I was to come back and continue to serve and serve out my contract and re-enlist and do all these cool things that we were doing as far as work on the base and stuff. And I was but after I got discharged, maybe I don't know, a few weeks later, I got a honorable discharge in the mail. And so that career, my military career, was pretty abruptly cut short. There was no fanfare or anything, but on a silver lining is that it was a phenomenal experience overall, and I wouldn't trade for the world. And I learned so much. Just I met so many cool people, so many great experiences and stuff. But but Crohn's, having IBD, did put me on a different trajectory, I guess would be the word. But I still stayed in IT, which is what I was trained to do in the military. And so later on, I I actually out of the military, I think I was working actually when I got out of the military, I was working at a cable company, and so I actually lost. I wouldn't say lost that job. I actually ended up leaving that job after I recovered from my surgery, because I remember having some new symptoms from getting my ileum taken out caused bile acid malabsorption, and which is a permanent condition that I take medicine for, cholestyramine, Prevolite, and so, but I didn't know that for a very long time, and so I was in very bad shape, even though the initial reasons I went into the hospital because of all this pain that I was having and all this inflammation and stuff, my colon, that was fixed, but the cost of that was pretty significant, and so I was pretty sick at work and at the cable company, and I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to listen to be honest, I was in the right frame of mind to listen to people complain about a cable channel not working, or their phone not working, or the internet not working, and feeling so miserable myself. I just wasn't able to empathize, and so I wasn't mean to people or anything like that. but it's just the job just didn't fit for me anymore. And so that's one of the very, very, very few things that I wasn't the kind of guy that was raised to leave a job like that. And so, but I did. And I'm very fortunate that I was able to find a couple opportunities after that. But, and I would, anybody listening, I would, tell you to, always have an opportunity lined up, that's a good opportunity lined up after the fact. And I thought I did, but I eventually did get something that was okay. And, so it still took me a little bit, a while to get that, a better opportunity as far as IT. And so I considered, changing my career, to, instead of IT and doing like human resources, like corporate training and stuff like that. And so I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Phoenix in human resources management and personnel administration. And so that was 100% online. I used the GI Bill I got from the Air Force, which is one of the benefits, I guess, from doing that. I paid into it, and so I was able to completely take advantage of that, which is a really, really cool thing that I'm very grateful for. And so, so I was able to, and so in the course of doing that degree, I got another job in IT, but I still stayed on the degree track and finished that. And so it all worked out. And so I actually remember, I think, finishing my degree. The last 3 months of my school was the first 3 months of my son's life, and so I was working a full-time job at the time, and then also go to school, full time. And then also try to do my very best to take care of my wife, or actually my fiance at the time, when he came into the world. And so it was a crazy time, but that's to let people know that and also having Crohn's on top of all of that. So Crohn's, as we all know, is this background, flares and not feeling well and all the symptoms, stomach, this malaise and fatigue and just upset stomach and all these kind of things on top of, all the stuff I just said, working in school and everything else. And so I'm very grateful I was able to do all that. It's not, I'm just very grateful. And so now, in my life, it's been several years, and I'm finally at a point to where a lot of my IT work in the past was, had me running around, to individual people's desks and different offices and stuff. And actually the bulk of my career was this, helping people in person, helping them on phone and stuff too. But a lot of it was helping people in person too. And now I'm in a position, to where I don't have to do that anymore. And so, which I'm also very grateful for, because it allows me to, practice a lot more self-care, and take care of myself so I can, provide value to the people that I'm hanging out with, at my job. So, I'm very grateful that, to be able to work, there are a lot of people out there with Crohn's and IBD and, ulcerative colitis, that just, because these conditions are so varied and so broad. I just consider myself lucky, even with the surgeries that I've had and in the medical interventions that I've had. I still just consider myself extremely lucky that I'm even able to go to work every day. Because I know people, the co-host on Crohn's Veteran, CJ, he, as of right now, he's of course the co-host of the podcast, which is pretty awesome. But as far as working and stuff, that was he had a goal to be on the SWAT team, and he was going to school for that and doing all these things, and so and that was his dream. And so, and ulcerative colitis, cut those, just had him, take a different path in life. And so because of that, because of examples like him, I'm just extremely grateful that, no matter how rotten I feel, that I'm still able to somehow be in a position to go to work, because there must be something that there must be, because I know there's people that do, that are just not physically capable of it. It's not a mental game or anything, even with me, like I could easily very, 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 very well be, in a worse physical condition that makes what I'm doing every day right now impossible. So every single day I'm able to go to work, I'm thoroughly grateful. And that's why I'm also, you know, just taking, trying my best to take better care of my health, and, just do things that, keep my spirit lighter, I guess, would be a good way to say that, and so I'm just very grateful in my career right now that I work in a really, really chill environment with really chill people. I greatly enjoy doing the podcast. Renika and CJ are two awesome people. All the people that we get to interview on this show is just a blessing. I love meeting people, and I'm really excited to see what we can do as far as growing this, and meeting and talking to people and listening to people's experiences from all over the world. And so living with Crohn's is still a daily challenge, but it's one that I'm up to the task, to take on, and it's allowed me, without having these experiences, these tough experiences, I wouldn't have had so many sweet, amazing, good, pleasant, positive experiences either. And so there has to be a contrast in life. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the lessons so far, and I'm grateful for what's possible. So for people out there, with IBD, there are some options. If you are working at a job and you feel like, you don't have, the ability to manage your symptoms and do an effective job, I believe Crohn's disease is covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act. As far as conditions that your employer can provide a reasonable accommodation for. That was true for me. At a previous job of mine, I just got to a point in my life that, like I said, I was running around and under people's desk, and unplugging things, plugging things back in for people, and working people's computers, and doing all this high, really advanced stuff, really simple stuff, everything in between. And so I just got to a point, with living with Crohn's symptoms, that I tried to, I was able to get an accommodation to where I was partially able to work from home, and partially able to work in the office and stuff, when I needed to. So that actually worked really well. I did that for several months, but then excuse me, COVID hit, and so the pandemic hit, and so there was a whole lot of coincidences, and so I ended up actually losing my job. So I got the accommodation. I went through all that rigmarole to get the accommodation at my job, and stuff. Got it. It was all good. And and then I got unceremoniously let go, and given I think a few weeks or whatever, pay or whatever. But it was, it was a great experience working there. But it was just, stuff happens, I should say. And so, because overall that was a really enjoyable experience with it, and I actually met a lot of cool people there. But that still, left me with no job and stuff. And so I was actually, worked on Crohn's Veteran. As the podcast actually launched right after I lost my job. My son, I was just telling this story. My son actually, thinks that, I created a job. He actually thinks that, he actually told his teacher, his kindergarten teacher, that, that my dad is the owner of Crohn's Veteran, which, kind of warms my heart. And so, it gives me like real warms and fuzzies. I can't even put into words, how awesome it makes me feel, because, I'm trying to show him that, you can create something out of nothing, and you can believe in yourself, and cool things can happen. And and so that's so I'm just excited. And so we did this. So we've been doing this show. Of course, I think this is our second year doing this show, and so I was so all last summer and stuff. I was unemployed, and then which was but the benefit of that I was actually able to work from home, and so I kind of continue to work on the podcast and some other projects I'm working on and stuff, and so hang out with the family a lot more, and it was a really really good time, and so. So an ultimate dream of mine would still be to be as productive as I can be, provide value to people and stuff, but have a lot more control over my, my schedule. And so that's a dream. So it's still a dream and a goal, and of mine. And so, but I'm still very grateful for for all for everything that's going right. And so so that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Also, so in addition to accommodations, if you're in the military, you can get a a disability. You also get a federal disability, and so so there's a lot of options to look into to see if your your situation qualifies for that kind of thing. Definitely look it up, and so. But I appreciate you guys listening today. If you like, Crohn's veteran, if you liked what you heard today, please, share this episode. Please subscribe to the Crohn's Veteran podcast. You can check us out on www.crohnsveteran.com. We also have a awesome and amazing merch store. It's on Teespring, so you can go to teespring.com and search for Crohn's Veteran, and you'll see not only Crohn's Veteran merch, but you also see colitis veteran stuff on there as well. So we're going to be pushing that a lot more. So please support that. You'll be supporting Crohn's and colitis awareness all over the world. And so and then also we're on YouTube. We're on Anchor Podcast, which is what this is made on. Also, we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google. We're on Twitch. We're on Discord. Check us out. We do live streams every week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. So please support our live stream on YouTube as well. And again, my name is Jordan. Thanks for listening, guys. Stay safe out there. Peace and love.